Hello and welcome everyone. Happy Saturday to you. This is Dr. Karen Dade coming at you today, live and ready to talk about self-love. Self-love, family, love, and unity. And how can we come together in this time of crisis? So again, welcome everyone. Just waving to folks as they're coming in. Nice to see you joining us. I'm pretty happy today. If you hear a little noise, like there's music and there's kids out there running around having a lot of joy, playing, etc. and so on, it's because today is my granddaughter Eliana's 13th birthday. It's not actually her birthday, but we're having family celebration. And through this time period, we've really had to try to find creative ways of being able to not let our children and grandchildren feel the brunt of what is going on. And you heard my two granddaughters talk about that last week, where they talked about they were sad and they had emotions, but at the same time, they were finding some happiness. And that's what we really want to make sure for our young people, that they are finding that sense of balance. And so today is kind of about that. And I'm just thrilled. I'm going to have my family, my eldest son, who lives on the East Coast, and my grandchildren there will be joining me pretty soon. So that's going to be pretty fun. So just welcome everyone. Hey, Mary. I see Anita. All right now. Okay. All right. Hey, Fee. Yeah, happy birthday to Eliana for sure. And so yesterday we kind of left off. It was all about movement that I called Movement for Peace and Justice. And it was really to just exercise a sense of power in a physical way, right? And have it very intentional on the fact that we are ready, we are standing up, and we're standing up in many, many different ways. And so here it is. Here's the power that we have. And just to be able to do that, to bring that to you and feel this sense of community power, you'd be surprised how far that will go, not only within our own families, but spread within our communities and within the nation. Look around the world right now. They say that this is the largest protest and rally around such an oppressive issue. But in general, it's the largest protest worldwide that has ever taken place. I just saw some stats on that. And that gives me hope. I hope that that's giving folks hope out there as well. So welcome to my granddaughter Ty's on. All right. Well, welcome, Sister Ray. I'm just chit-chatting a little bit, trying to catch up with everyone and just let everyone know that this is really a time today where we're coming together and we're appreciating family. We're going to hear from our family on the East Coast. We had the pleasure of at least hearing from a couple of my granddaughters here on the West Coast last week, and talking about just how they were being impacted, not only by being sheltered, being isolated, with social distance, but mainly around, this crisis that's been going on for just too many centuries now, on racial oppression, ignorance, and hatred. And so they spoke to that. And so family's going to speak to that as well. So I'm going to welcome in my grandson. I see him there. Okay, and he should be coming up pretty soon. And I'm just waving to everyone as they're coming in. Hey, family.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. All right, so I'm introducing to our live audience here, for which, what I love about doing this 30-day challenge is that I'm connecting more with my family, wherever you all are. And we're talking,
Horizon.
We're talking about things together. So I want to introduce my family right there. That's Taisha. She's hiding behind her brother Dominique. They're trying to hide out. I know it's hard to get everybody in. My grandson Dominique.
Hi,
Okay,
Ma.
my son Wayne, my daughter-in-law Teresa waving there. I love y'all. Who else is over there? Oh my goodness, is that Miloh? Oh my goodness. Oh, I got my great grands on now. So you know we're gonna have to have a good show. All right, Miloh, woo.
Miloh, she's saying hi to you.
Okay,
Miloh.
No, Elliot, I see. Okay, we got the hi. I love you all. Those are my great grandchildren there too. All right. Okay, so we get ready to get this conversation on. All right. So I think what happens is one person, when I'm speaking, will be quiet there, and when you all are speaking, I'm going to be quiet here so that we can, hear the our viewing audience can hear us. Okay. All right. So my question to the family today: you all have been very much involved with the rallies and protests there on the East Coast. And I'm just checking in to be able to do that as a family together. It just means so much. And I just wanted you to kind of share, what that meant to you today and what's happening out there.
Yeah, we went today to the protest down in New London, Connecticut today as a family. Mm-hmm. Took the kids down there, and it was powerful. It was powerful. Teresa's dad came. He actually got up and he spoke. It was a feeling that I actually never had. It was interesting. It was a lot of unity. I was overwhelmed with emotion. You know what I mean? It was a very. It's about time that it's a long time coming. That's all I'm saying. That people are this wide awake about the circumstances out here right now. So it felt good to be a part of that.
Yeah. And so, son, are you seeing more hope than usual that we've had in the past?
Absolutely, especially with young people. I think the young people actually get it. It was driven by young people, and the enthusiasm, everything from young people, it's amazing right now. And the unity, and people really get it, and they understand that. I think people are really trying to capture this moment and really push for change, real change right now.
Yeah.
It's different. It's not a lot of talk. It's like people are done with this now. It's time for some real change.
Absolutely. And so was that more was it a rally where people were speaking? What were some of the chants for demand for change, especially from politicians? And
they had politicians. Mm-hmm. They had police officers, politicians, local groups, local artists. College students. There was a variety of people there. Dom was there as well. He could tell you a lot about it as well. We both had. I got there a little bit earlier than Dom, so I saw some people, and I left before. Like we met each other in between, so he probably saw some people that I didn't see too. And so it really was. It was a powerful thing. But you had preachers, religious people speaking. All
wow. Just all walks of life just coming together.
Young people, older people. People in the community that I know that are affiliated with all of the sports and stuff like that. In the community, they got up and they spoke. And some of your people, did they speak up there today?
No, I didn't.
I thought I saw some of the people from the show up there today.
But now you said Grant spoke, and did he speak as an elder? I want to let our viewing audience know.
Yeah, he got up and just spoke from his heart, and said that he had 3 generations there, which he did.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And he said he didn't get a chance to march back in the day, so this was his chance. You know what I mean? And he gave he gave a deep speech, and everybody felt it. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and he had a little Elliot up there with him.
All
You know
right.
what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And I mean, our young ones, this is what I've been saying, our real young ones, they need to know too what's going on.
Absolutely.
Trying to keep it balanced, but you know, yeah, that was beautiful to know all of you were out there together. So to me, that's 4 generations, really.
Yeah, when you think about it, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And so, you know, just for our viewing audience, we're actually talking about elder for the Pequot Nation. Okay, so our family is blended there. We represent both African American and Pequot Native American. And so just hearing, like, I got a chance to hear they had a live, well, they asked me to speak, but they didn't realize I had left Washington. And so, but I did tune into their Instagram live for a moment. And we had an opening from one of our Lummi Nation elders. And what he was calling for is, he said that, you know, it's time to build a structure of equity and equality, to build it, rebuild it. We're going to tear down some things and have it to really rebuild it. But he just said it's one, that they believe in one heart, one spirit, and one mind. And that was all of us. So that was strong, you know, to me as well.
Absolutely.
So like in times of these, just as we're going through the racial protests for change, how are you all feeling? Like, you know, you kind of expressed a little bit of how you were feeling, you know, today, son. But I'm just wondering, you know, and maybe hear it from everybody else as well. Just how were you all feeling today? If you could name 3 top feelings, what would those be? That's what I asked your family on the West Coast here. The same thing.
Definitely tired and drained of seeing the same thing happening. And literally physically tired and drained because I was protesting for like over 2 miles today.
Yeah, and plus you've been active since this has been started. You've been out there on the front lines. Everybody, my grandson here, he's an artistic professional photographer, and he gets out there right in the midst of these things happening. And so I can't imagine, you know, how much as you're saying, you're feeling drained. It makes sense to me knowing that.
Yeah, the first one this was my second one today. The first one I went to was emotional for me and I actually started to cry. But today I was more filled with like just repeating the chants and listening to what people were saying.
And so can I ask what teared you up? Or was it just the being overwhelmed with what was going on?
Being overwhelmed, and it was my first time going to a protest ever. So just seeing everyone and everything that, like, other people were crying too. So, like, I'm a crier. So Marquise could tell you. But, so yeah, it just teared me up. Like, so I was just to be around everybody and seeing them stand for the same thing. Because we had, like, a lot of people turn out in Norwich. Today
I can imagine New London just must have been, you know, thousands of people out there. So Taisha, you've been really active as well. Tell me what's going on. How are you feeling?
It's like a weird, I didn't go to the protest with them today. But it's like a weird time. Like, you don't know what's the right thing to say or what's wrong because everyone's like so high in emotions. But it's good to like see that so many people surrounding are like on this movement together. Even like on my social medias, people are like calling people out left and right of what they're not tolerating. So it's kind of like interesting to see like the times flip with all of this. Like people that I never even expected to speak up about certain things are speaking up.
Wow.
So even if it's uneasy at times, it's still like settling knowing that people are coming out to support all over.
Yeah.
But it's like a weird time, just I think all around. And it's like a major change compared to like what we've ever gone through, like this whole time.
I hear you, Ty, because it's what they're calling, a double virus, because here we are in a pandemic, right? But we've got racial, a racial virus that's killing folks left and right.
So like you get over this one, and then it's like you're dealing with those emotions, and then you're thrown into this stuff, and then it's like kind of crazy to see it's affecting everyone, because even conversations with Elliot that I have with him and other family members, they know at this point. And things that you like tell them that you wouldn't expect them to know. It's so young that they're educating me with things they say.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I want to see if little Elliot and Miloh want to check in with us and see. I know you're hiding over there, but I definitely want to hear from you as well.
Yeah, they might be hyper, but we're gonna call them down real quick.
Okay, Marquise is here. Hey, Marquise. Okay, that's my grandson Marquise, everybody. He is a songwriter. He is a wonderful singer. He sings from his heart. I mean, I've got some talented grandchildren there. My granddaughter there, she's been handling her college stuff online, so I just love y'all to death, that. So I'm here for y'all. I just need to know how y'all are doing, how y'all feeling and hanging in there together.
So are you really gonna be here for us in July? So what I kind of came in late. What were you guys talking about?
Yeah, we're just talking about, first of all, this show today is about self, family, love, and unity, and how sticking together through these tough times of racial protest, of the coronavirus. How are you feeling? How are you holding up together?
So far so good. I mean, as a parent to a child in this era is different, but also a person of color and minority, I feel like it's your job to educate the next generation on some of the struggles that oddly it's not that we didn't go through or have to deal with, it's just like these days it's more amplified. I feel like it's a step back in time where I have to have some conversations with my daughter and even my nephew on how to be themselves in this era.
Yeah.
Which is new, but it's just a take it one day at a time type of thing.
Yeah. And, just like Ty said, they get it. They know stuff is going on. So it's not something you can hide from them. Also, too, it's for their safety, and that they know what we're fighting for. So all of that is like, it's just so important. And it's nothing new. I know that in your generation now, in being, dads and uncles and aunts there already, right? But I remember sitting down with, your aunts and, uncles here, and having to talk to them when they were like 10, 4, 6, about racial prejudice and discrimination, just because Neander had been chased down and being called the N-word at the age of 10. So we have to start these conversations young with our kids, but you're absolutely right. It's at a time when all this stuff is happening, it makes it even harder for your generation to do that, So have you been able to get out there and rally or protest? And
Yeah, we were out there. We were out there as well.
Oh,
We
you
were
out
out
there
there.
together? Okay, okay.
Yeah, we went. We got there a little after the parents did, but we stayed for a while. Kind of went in waves. So they got there first, then Miloh and I got there, and then Dom ended up staying there the latest. It's kind of hard when you have a child to actually stay for that whole time, especially how hot it was. But one thing I wanted to do was to take her to that because whether you believe it or not, that's historical in its own way.
Yeah.
So, but also I didn't want her to go. She asked me to go.
Did she?
So
Okay. I want to
yeah,
hear from her.
but the thing about it was because everything is so socially driven and done through the media, I didn't want her to just go to go. So before we went, I had her explain what she was even going to protest or what she thought she was going to protest. So
Wonderful.
now she has an understanding as to why people are like voicing their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well-
I mean, it was cool.
Yeah. So where's Miloh and Elliot at? Are they close by you?
She
Okay.
Miloh.
Hey. Hi. Oh my God. I miss you all. Hey. I miss you. Hey. You know, we were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, my great grandchildren, I love you so much. Tell me what happened today when you went out.
How did you feel when you were in the protest?
I was feeling happy, and I was playing with my cousins outside and here.
Talk about the protest.
Yeah.
And I went to Nana's and said hi, and I came back here to eat and go and take a bath.
Okay.
Talk to her.
Well, it sounds like it's been a pretty good day. For you so far.
So the actual protesters are gonna speak now.
Okay.
Tell Nana how you guys felt about going to the protest.
Miloh first, nervous first, and then
Speak into it so she can hear you.
Yeah, you were nervous.
You was nervous about what?
I don't know.
When you got there and you saw all the people, how did you feel?
Just scared and nervous.
Scared and nervous?
Yeah,
Did you feel safe with us though?
yeah.
Did you like the energy that everybody had?
Can I sit right there? Yeah. But the one thing I didn't like that it was so hot.
It was hot, huh? What about you, Elliot?
It was hot.
That it was hot out there.
When I got there, I felt surprised that I seen so much people there, and I thought it was gonna be not so crowded. But then Grant came up and gave a big speech, and when somebody came up and when they said all those things, I felt like I wasn't the only one that was feeling bad for the people that have died over the past few years.
Wow. You really explained that pretty well, Elliot. Very
Yeah.
well.
Good
Surprised
job.
me.
Good
So
job.
you knew why you were there, and that's
Milo, you knew
important.
why you were there too, right?
And Miloh, what did you
Milo.
tell Dad why you wanted to go?
She was saying she wanted to see what Black Lives Matter was all about.
Why did you want to go to the protest? Remember you wanted me to take you this morning? Why did you want to go?
Because
You told me Black Lives Matter. Huh? Where'd you hear Black Lives Matter at?
on TV
You heard it on TV? Did you know what it meant?
a little.
What did you know about? What do you know about Black Lives Matter? Tell Grandma.
And you're getting really beautiful wishes from us here. It says, this is a beautiful family affair. Stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. One love. Someone just wished our family that. That was
Wow.
Ray.
Thank you very much.
Milo, you done?
And so Miloh, you were going to finish?
Oh, what does Black Lives Matter mean to you?
I don't know.
You don't know
You
what it
got
meant.
your
Remember you
aunties
said you was
on
going
here
for a
listening.
cause.
What
Right.
did you go there for today?
Black Lives Matter.
What
It's a
does that mean
protest,
to you,
right?
though?
You went
Like,
to-
what do you think about when you think of Black Lives Matter?
I don't know. I do.
What do you
So
think
what do you
about?
think about?
What I think about the reason why I went there was because I wanted all the colored people to have the people that are getting shot and killed, like George Floyd, when he kept saying, "I want my mom." And
You hear
then,
that? That's my great grandchild, you all.
Yes.
Okay.
and I wanted to go for justice and peace.
There you go.
Yes.
Like,
And in order to get that, that's why so many people are coming together, right? To say
why
this
you
is
went,
what we
right,
have to
Marquise?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Miloh concurred with that.
Yep.
All right.
So that's what I went for.
Yes.
Right, Mai?
Absolutely.
So Auntie Devin is wishing love. You know, we're here today. Today's Ellie's birthday. We're celebrating it.
Ellie.
And, you know,
Birthday.
Ellie and I were supposed to be in Connecticut right now before going
Happy
off to Cape
birthday.
Verde,
Yeah.
right? So anyway,
Come on, you got 3
we're going
more
to
weeks.
FaceTime after so that, you know, we can say hi and all that other stuff as far as family goes. But we're not finished yet. I still, you know, would love to just hear more about, because this is helping a lot of families. People that are on and viewing right now, they are doing some of the same things that we're doing as families. They are close-knit, they're supporting. The fact that you all now, you know, are living closer together, you cook, one person cooks part of the meal, the other person cooks another meal, you're coming together, you're having conversations about these things that are going on, the virus, you
Plenty
know.
of conversation about the issues that's going on. I just felt like this was inevitable. It was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad it happened when I could see it, when I could witness it and be a part of it, because this change was inevitable. This was hundreds and hundreds of years in the
Yeah. Do you know, son, I don't know if you heard me, if you were on live, but when you were 2 years old, Uncle Calvin and I got on a school bus and did the 10th year anniversary of the March on Washington. And he carried you on his shoulders at 2 years old. 7 miles we walked to the Capitol. And you were in it.
Yeah, I was born in that spirit. You know, I
Yeah.
live in that spirit. So, you know, I'm so happy to see this change. I'm gonna call it about to happen. You know, God willing, this change is gonna happen.
I believe it too,
You know,
son.
I feel like the movement is too strong right now. And like I said, it's been hundreds of years in the making.
Yeah.
So it's time to get some equality around here. And we want to save some lives. You got to stop taking lives out here. They got to stop taking our lives out here.
Amen.
You know?
Ashe. Oh my goodness, I believe in that so much. So what do you think, family, besides just as we're standing up, we're doing rallies, we're doing protests, we're signing petitions for change, what else can we do as family members to make this happen for real and make it be last, you know, for all the next generations to come?
You want to see?
I think we should just keep educating our kids and teaching them less time on the video games and let them understand
Go
the
ahead.
importance
Mhm.
of walking out that door and making it home safe
Mhm.
and educating them and letting them know what's out there, like why they should vote, who they should vote for. They should know their politicians, who they go to school with,
Mhm.
because some of the kids that they go to school with are politicians' kids.
Mhm.
So they should know about what's going on, how to vote, what a senator even means. I remember when I was little, we used to have that thing, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it too. Remember the one taking the bill, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill
Oh yeah.
on cartoons? When they were teaching us,
Schoolhouse
but
Rock.
they were
Wayne
teaching,
should know that by heart.
right, but I'm saying, but they were teaching you how a bill was passed.
Right.
From beginning to end. You know what I mean? So I think stuff like that should be taught. They don't teach it in school, but what they don't teach in school, that leaves us to teach or even if you direct them on the internet, they're on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
At least give them a half an hour to know who they are, who are your presidents, where the presidents come from, how can you become a president,
That's
or how
right.
can you become a politician. Even a young age is 8 years old. Miloh has a thing where she does a Miloh drive.
Oh, I know.
Last year.
I contributed.
Exactly. You get out in the community, and that she's
Be
8.
proactive. Be
Exactly.
proactive. Teach your
Right.
children to be proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just sitting around, taking this. Be out there. Be a part of it, and
Absolutely.
teach them now. Because they're going to grow up in that. When they're proactive, they're going to continue to be that way for the rest of their lives.
That's right.
The commitment that they're going to have. You know what I mean?
And so I know for my daughter-in-law, Teresa here, we call her T, she has been a long-time member of the Pequot Council. She's been involved with the politics there when we talk about, our sovereign nations and how to govern those nations. So this is a very wise woman, young woman who is telling us this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, T, I couldn't appreciate that more for, all of us to hear that. And that the kids have gone through, cultural school since they were born. And now the great grands, your grands now, right? And that consciousness is there. They know about one love and, and community and building. So it's more than just sending our kids to school. We have to school them at home like they're in school. Culturally.
Because you even know, we've talked a lot of coming from the education field, how we have such a disproportionate amount of children in special education classes because the funding. Even more if you're Native American, you get an extra few $100s. If you're this, if you're that. Depending on what you are, you get funding for that, and they make sure that you get special education on your record so that they can get the funding. It's not so that you can educate these kids or teach them on their level. It's just about the funding and pass them through the system. And passing them through the system passes them right to the prison doors because they don't know how to do.
You're calling it all, T.
Exactly.
So we have to fight against that. This is what family power and love and self-love and how we generate it to each other. This is how, I keep saying this, that it's beyond just surviving. We need to be thriving. And
exactly.
So the way we got to do it. And so one of the things that one of the speakers said today that I heard was that we can't stop. We've got to do this until it's done. And I think part of why we have, had small movements along the way when we get out, we protest and we do other things is because, like Dom is saying, he's exhausted, he's tired. But if all of us get out there and we're supporting each other, within our families, we're going to be a whole lot stronger to be able to sustain this. Right?
Exactly. So, I mean, that's for me. For us, for our household, it's to educate and to teach them so that they know and equip them when they go out there. It's even hard to let these kids play with certain toys, and they don't understand it until now.
Right.
And now it's like Elliot understands why he can't play with a gun outside.
Yes.
Why he can't play with a water gun.
And imagine, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you can't play with a bat in certain areas.
Right.
So they're restricted on how they can play because of their color. And they didn't understand that. He really didn't understand
that's what
it.
we're fighting for. That's what we're fighting for, kids, because that should not be.
Exactly. So
Absolutely.
we got a long ways to go in a short
All of
period
this
of time.
inequality is just being exposed all at one time. See, because even the coronavirus exposed the healthcare system and the inequities that we go through just from living.
Yeah.
Right? How we, have higher blood pressures, diabetes, things that other people who get better care don't have, right?
Exactly.
So once again, you got something that's disproportionate in the Black community.
Yeah.
Right? So all of these things are being fully exposed right now. But I'm glad that all people can see these discrepancies now, and they're exposed. And the people that matter are the people that's gonna get out there and fight against that.
Absolutely. And so it is. It's an opportunity, and I'm so glad we got so much family on here today. And for the past, this is the 26th day, right? We only have 27th day, so we have 3 days left. And some folks have just been on here 30. They've been here since the very first day that we started, and I know you all have been joining. But we also have Atlanta, Courtney. Rosie's grandmother, Anita's on here. There's just been family coming together, just wanting to know. And this is a way that we've been able to communicate, too, even if no one else joins us, right?
That's right.
We'd be having these conversations together. And I just think that it's so important, Wayne. And what you all are doing, I couldn't be more proud of you as a mom, grandmother, great-grandmother. This is our time. This is our time.
We get it. We get it from the root.
Opportunity.
We get it honest from the root.
Hey, from the root. And the root didn't
root.
start.
We get it
look,
right from you, Bob. We get it
start
honest.
with me. So I'm calling on,
She's like,
our ancestors. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I have some photos if you still want
Yeah.
me to show.
Would you please take us out with those photos, Dominique? Okay. Hold on, everyone. Grandson's going to share some photos with us. So these are from the protest today, Dom?
Not today. This one's from the other day. I haven't been able to upload.
Okay.
These are from a few days ago.
Okay. And maybe talk us through some of these a little bit. We'll go a few minutes over time, but folks, if we disconnect, it'll just be the end of the show until tomorrow, okay? Yeah. And these are on Dom's post as well. Please follow Dominique on Instagram. He's got all these beautiful
I'll be posting next week.
Okay.
From some more photos I took.
And Deanna's saying, love this, Dom.
Thank you.
Fee's saying family first. And Anita's saying the root is amazing. That's all our roots, though. Love you. Okay, and so Dom, your IG is it Dom the bomb? What do you have on there for your IG? At what?
Dom the bomb.
Yeah.
I'll type it.
Yeah. And he'll send it in. Wow, this is wonderful that we have so much family. Look at this. Look at this power. We stand. Wow. What does that one right there say, Dom? I can't see it.
Who do you call when the cops murder?
Who do you call? Wow. And then people are still wearing their masks out there too, so that's another sense of consciousness. Mm-hmm. I was given that power yesterday. I hope y'all were joining me with that. That is power. That is power when we do that. Yeah.
Which one do you want? Yeah, I can't get it.
Beautiful. No justice with no peace. Is that what that one says?
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. And this is happening in every city.
Yes,
around the
tomorrow.
Country, around the world is involved with this.
No, Groton.
It's time for change.
Yeah, it's been in every local city around here.
Except Ledger. Yeah, because Ledger's president.
And that's good to know. And Ty said something really that stuck with me. She said that she was able to see find out where people stood. Thank you, Dom. Those were beautiful. But that, you know where people stand when they say when the rubber meets the, how does that go? Meets the ground or whatever.
Sorry, I came in late, so I didn't hear what you said.
No, well, Ty, I was just talking about, you said something pretty profound when the rubber meets the road. But when you said you didn't even know what people supported what until this started to happen, and then you begin to see and know that, wow, these people are really supporting this as well.
Yeah.
And so
Like I've had, not that I like have friends that, like I just don't ever get into that with people, like politics, race, anything. I keep it very like mellow. But people that I never expected that I went to school with, and it's like, you guys hung around this group or you did this, they're ones that are calling people out all over.
And they're out there.
I know like locally, I don't know how it is everywhere, but around here, a lot of people have been digging, like if store owners make comments about the riots or they're like putting them on blast, like don't support this business. There's a teacher that was from out here, one of Elliot's schools, that had made like a kind of inappropriate comment on the whole thing, and they like already got him suspended from the school system. And people that like I said, I wouldn't really expect were sharing it and like supporting them. People that I know are best friends were turning on their best friends. Like, that's inappropriate. Don't talk right now. And I know like me and Dom have done that too. Like we've had family members that we've had to like, this isn't the time to even speak. But it's just like a weird time anyways, like for anything that's going on. But people are really coming together and they're all on the same side for the most part. It's like either you're with or against.
Yeah.
If not, then you're quiet, and that's what it is. So it's like a pretty clear image right now. Like people have protested before and they've said Black Lives Matter, but like now they matter. Like everyone is on the same page with
if you're
them.
quiet, you're complicit.
Powerful.
Yeah. So
if you're quiet, you're a part of it.
Oh.
Exactly. So you're either here or you're there. There's no in between this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so the social media, and I love that, being able to point out if folks are not in support, we're going to call you out, right?
Yeah.
So you better take a stand on what it is that you're going to do here. And this is what I think is strengthening this movement even more so than any other movement that I've seen. Is it good? You know? So yeah, we just got to keep calling it out.
Yeah, and they've been doing it. Like it's been maybe because now everyone's home too, so they have the time to actually protest and research. So it's like very bold right now. Like they're moving.
Yeah.
Like I would say this is a movement.
I don't think that it's all coincidentally. I think Mother Earth just got fed up and said, "Look, you know, if it takes this to do this, you know." And it's a horrible thing to say because we've lost a lot of lives in the process of the virus, but also in the process of being Black in America, right? Yeah. But it's all coming to a head, and it had to at some point. But let us all just continue to stick together as a family to stay strong. You know, we're always strong and into it and talking, but I'm talking to all of us, you know, that are viewing right now and that'll see the recording. And again, I want to thank my grandson for just pulling out some of those pictures. As many pictures when you're, I believe, when you're attending these protests and rallies, I think it's a good thing to post them. It's not bragging. It's not showing off that I showed up for a protest. I think it's showing the power of numbers. And so I would really encourage us to keep, Dom, keep showing it. Keep bringing it out there, you know, with the photography this week.
Yeah, one of my friends we were talking about it, and she was saying that photography is one of my weapons, so definitely use it to spread what's happening. So, yeah, one other thing, we had like, you know, those like all lives matter kind of people out there, but we kept pushing through and They really didn't ruin anything. Everyone just ignored them and just kept pushing through.
Well, I'm so glad you all are safe, sound, together as a family, standing up for what's right. And I couldn't be prouder of you all. I just love y'all to death.
Love you too.
So that's our love for today. Love for family right there. All right. I'm going to FaceTime you all and we'll connect the family outside that's partying right now.
All right.
Okay. Love you all.
Love you.
Love to all our viewing audiences, and we'll see you tomorrow. We got questions and answers coming up. Lots of things we've been covering. Would love to have you get on there and just let's get into the conversation for tomorrow and follow up of this is 4 weeks, you know, at going at this self-love boot camp. And it's all about strengthening us for the things that are here presently and for the things that await us. So just wishing you all love, peace, and happiness and justice. Ashe.